Hey everyone, Apera here. So the way I want to take care of this review, instead of showing like a phone recording of the box as I talk and stuff like that, I thought I'd show pictures so you guys can see what I'm talking about, and just have better quality overall with the mic and everything. So this is how I'm gonna do it. So when I get to the part where I'm talking about it, I'll try to put the image on screen so you can see what I'm talking about. What's really odd about this, marketing-wise, is they're going by the name Case Closed, One Truth Prevails, which was what Funimation was using, and a couple of other English territories, and stuff like that. So I thought that was really weird that they were marketing it as Case Closed again. Now, I know why they're doing it, or why they had to do it, was because of Conan O'Brien, Conan the Barbarian, stuff like that, legal issues with the name. I get that. But that's not why I find it fully weird. It is weird seeing the name Case Closed again, for sure, even though the manga's still going in English. But what's weird is when you take it out of its slipcover, it actually is called Detective Conan. And it loses the Case Closed moniker, even on the side of the spine, which I'd assume would still say Case Closed. But it does not. So the magic stuff you can get away with slipcovers. So I thought that was really weird. And why I find it even more weird than what it really is even though Lupin the Third, when they did the Detective Conan crossover with Lupin, at the bottom of their DVD, they wrote Case Closed. So that was, But yeah, I don't know. I have a hard ship with this series. For any of you that watched the previous podcasts, I did not start off well with this show. I started with the Funimation dub, and if it wasn't for that dub, I probably would not have watched the series. You can go back and check out the podcast for more in detail on that. But it wasn't my cup of tea. I didn't like detective stuff. I didn't like case stuff. It wasn't my thing. And it was because of the Funimation dub that I even pursued my major in criminal justice to eventually become a detective. So, like, Funimation, they may not have handled it right. It's not the dub itself. It's more than that. They marketed it bad. The first 50 some odd episodes were done in highly censorship for Adult Swim, stuff like that. So it didn't have a good start, and the guy who runs Funimation and stuff like that is a very high and proud Japanese man that can't admit that he's done wrong and stuff like that, and it sucks, but we got more English content since they lost their license. And, well, the best way to describe how I feel about this is, well, one, I like it for the background noise. I'm already caught up, so it's just like, do I need a dub? No. Not really. But I want to support this, because not only have we all been asking for 10 years, it is time to pull out our wallets. Look, you asked, you got it, pay for it. I highly, highly recommend buying this, even if you already somehow seen it in Japanese or you've seen it in English, somehow, like, you know how people do. I still recommend buying this copy. It's already hit the top 10 sellers, the top sellers, and top 6 sellers, and on Right Stuff. So it is selling well, which is good. And this is the most important copy to buy. Movie 22 is now on there, and that was the first thing that they probably dubbed, because you can just tell by listening to that and then listening to this. This sounds a whole lot better. Wendy Lee as Conan, oh my god, growing on me. I love it. I was wondering, I'm like, how is she going to pull that kitty stuff that he does in the earlier stuff? Yes, Conan gets more confident and is less like that later. And when he does, it feels really forced, which I guess is the point. But early on, it was not the case. And I have to say, she did a pretty decent job. And I feel like you can just grow into that even more. And it's proof if you just compare these two. The only gripe that I really had with movie 22, besides them sounding new, is I hated the fact that Conan called Kogoro, or Richard, whatever you want to call him, Pops Kogoro. It's a mouthful. I get it. You're trying to be more faithful, and it's, uncle. But he's never called him Uncle Kogoro. Just calls him Uncle. So I didn't like that. Not at all. Pops Kogoro, I'm like, I guess I can get used to it, but I'm not a fan. And in this version, he calls them Pops, which is a whole lot better. You know, like, Ron, get Pops! You know, and it's like, okay, I can feel that. And I wanted to go more in depth, because I really haven't seen anyone talking in depth about it. They might do like a 1 minute or 2 minute video of just unboxing it and giving their thought on how it looks, but not the actual product. And I want to give that to you and let you know what you're expecting going in. And please do not let this derive you from wanting to get it, because I'm going to tell you right now, this is important to buy. If you just read the back, which I don't know if you can read it on screen, I don't know if I'm even going to put it on screen or what, but this part, I'm going to read you what the back says. The world's greatest detective, world's smallest package. It has a clean opening with like no Japanese text or anything on it. And it says, let me see. It's called Episode 1, The Great Detective Turns Small. It all started when Ran Mori lost her smartphone. Shinichi Kudo, her would-be boyfriend, promises to replace it. But the high schooler is already making his name as a consulting detective for the police. When he abruptly leaves her karate tournament to skillfully solve a high society murder case, Shinichi's... Oh, yeah, they're going back with the Japanese names. Probably should have said that. Shinichi's going to have to take Ran on a special date to get back on our good side. A colorful amusement park beckons. And so does a horrifying act of homicide. In pursuing this new murder mystery, Shinichi stumbles across the shadowy black organization, a crime syndicate that attempts to silence the gifted sleuth the one way they can without attracting attention. By force feeding him a strange drug with unknown properties, now Shinichi finds himself younger, so much younger, in fact, that the police allies don't even recognize him. Armed with nothing but his wit and a brand new identity as Conan Edogawa, boy detective, Kudo takes off in pursuit of justice to answer and someday return to his original age. Episode 1 is a thrilling, inventive retelling of the original Detective Conan origin story, created 20 years after the legendary young detective made his TV anime debut in 1996, which the manga started in 1994 January. This film serves as a reintroduction to Shinichi Kudo's crime-fighting exploits as Conan Edogawa, his distant and wistful romance with Ran Mori, and with his friendship with Professor Agasa and the Junior Detective League. Hundreds of TV episodes and dozens of movies and specials featuring Detective Conan have been made. But don't fret, you can pick up the trial right here. And this is the trial. And I feel like these numbers are what's really going to matter with, okay, what do we do with this? They could just do the movies, for sure. Or they can start doing main episodes. I don't think they're going to do all 1,000 episodes. Pipe dream, would love it, but I don't think so. And I think even if they do restart and they don't leave off where Funimation left off, I see them not doing all the episodes Funimation did. Like I said, if they're going to stay with the canon episodes, they're not going to do the TV originals that were within those first 5 seasons. So the only way you're going to see those in English are watching Funimation's dub, which, you know, brings some longevity for people to look back at, you know, like people who strictly only watch dub. I don't. I'm on episode 975. Like, I actually have to watch that after making this video, because it's already out. Conan has been on hiatus since March, so we're on July 5th. It came out yesterday, though. So, yeah, it's I love it. It's great. I think it's fantastic. I highly recommend it. Now on characters. Besides Conan, he reminds me of Neo from Death Note, which I've said that like 15 times by now. But I love that. Like, I'm not saying Death Note's great or anything. I mean, it's okay. I enjoyed it the first time I watched it. I never really rewatched it. I may have rewatched some episodes, but I never physically just sat down and said, hey, let's watch Death Note start to finish. But I always liked the way Nier sounded, so that was kind of cool for me. Shinichi, besides sharing the last name with his voice actor, I don't know how I feel about him. There are some moments that people said he sounded like really close to Jerry Jewell, and I'm sorry, Griffin Burns, you did not, in any of my opinion. I could see some of the instance where people maybe thought that, but I had to keep that in mind of somebody saying that when seeing it to see it. If no one said anything, I wouldn't have caught it. There was maybe one scene where I was just like, if he would have just tried a little bit harder, he really could have. Totally, but I don't know. Griffin Burns, I feel like he'll grow into the character. I think the thing that really shined for Jerry Jewell, besides just sounding naturally like Jimmy, perfectly, because everyone says, like, if Jimmy were to come, and be a real, English speaker, this is what he probably would sound like, and I could agree. That's what I picture coming out of his mouth, and that's not just because I love the dub so much. That's what a lot of people said. But I didn't really learn until recently that it was Gosho that picked the English names. And so when y'all hating on that, you're hating on Gosho. That was not Funimation's fault, unfortunately, because everyone likes to blame Funimation. And look, I don't like Funimation either that much. They just happen to be the one in the place of holding the premium subs. I'm at the premium IP. I'm sorry. So that kind of get what you got to get. But that's that. Off Griffin Burns, I definitely feel like he can grow into a good Shinichi, for sure. I don't want to put hate on him. It's just, I just wish we got Jerry back. The only part that I feel it's going to be hard for Griffin Burns to evolve into Shinichi is the fact that they're not doing what Funimation did, which I loved the idea. They do it rarely in the Japanese dub, and they did it like 2 times. Whenever they show Shinichi shadowing Conan, they'll do it, which is fine, but I liked when Conan thought in his head it was an adult. Maybe because it's Griffin Burns, I'm okay with it not being that way, but I feel like Griffin Burns could really evolve into the character if he had more time, and you're not going to get time because Shinichi's a really rare character in the series, so, it's been so long that I almost forget that they're the same person. But that's that. Moving on from Shinichi, you got Ran Mori, which in some instances, in this copy, in this trial episode, she actually sounds a lot like, what was her name? Colleen Crinklebeard, something like that, which was the original voice actor of Ran, which was Rachel, which in some instances she sounds sort of like her. Not much, and like her, I mean like it's like a similar tone. Another character that I thought really did a good improvement this time was Eerie. Which is Ava Caden for you other English speakers. I want to say both names so you know who I'm talking about, because you might just be coming fresh off the other dub or haven't watched since the dub and you're like, oh, more English content, I'm ready, which is Ava Caden. And when I watched her first appearance in movie 22, because I saw the original 22 because it's not even out yet on DVD. That doesn't come out till September, I believe. When I first heard her voice in that, I was just like, it's okay, I like it, but it's no Ava Caden for me. When I heard her in this one, I was like, oh my god. She had between the 2 dubbing times, looked at her character from the Funimation dub, because I'm talking decimals off from sounding like Ava Caden, and I love that. She's probably my favorite performance in this DVD. I really enjoyed Ava Caden, or Iri Kesuke, in this copy. I just tapped the things I'm holding it on the box. So I really loved that. Another character we have is Mori Kogoro, which is Richard Moore. I don't know. He's definitely maybe my least favorite out of the 4 voice actors I've known for Richard. Richard, you have Bruce Elliott, which I do have a video on my channel of him voicing a scene from the Desperate Revival arc. Which was really cool. He's voiced a few things for me in the past. I love him, by the way. But then you have Mori Kogoro, 2 voice actors that I know of. One that quit around the 500s, and then the one that we have now. I definitely like the one we have now more, I think, but it took me some time to get used to it because he's not like he used to be, laughing with his tongue out all the time, stuff like that. I miss that a lot, so it was really nice to see stuff like that again. This was really good. Xander Mobus, which voices Joker from Persona 5, the announcer in Smash Brothers. I mean, okay, good choice. He definitely sounds better in movie 22 in my opinion, but he's definitely a character that can grow on me and definitely fall into the voice. I like him, and I mean, Hey, he was in Smash. I'm gonna like him. It was okay. It was none of the Richards I know, in my opinion, or none of the Kogoros that I know. But definitely something I could warm up to, I think. Another character, Inspector McGuire. I don't know if he digressed or got better. I didn't pay much attention to him. He had a very small screen show time. Another character, who else was in this? Kaido Kid. Oh my, can I just talk about Kaido Kid first? I don't know who voiced Kaido Kid in this. It might have been Griffin Burns again. Sounds better than Shinichi. So if it was Griffin Burns, can you, fix my boy Shinichi a bit, please? I don't, or have this guy voice Shinichi. No one would notice the switch. You could totally get away with it. It's not too late. I really enjoy Kaido Kid's voice in this. It was definitely a mixture between Jerry Jewell and like the official voice of the Japanese dub. So I really liked Kaido Kid's voice in this. Another character that I kind of liked was Jody. A little bit rusty, but it was really good. I actually really liked it. Another thing about, Gosha picking the English names, Jody's based off Jodie Foster, which is an American actress. And she also, in one of her roles, played a character named Cherie Starling, and that's where Jodie Starling comes from. So I really like Jodie Starling's voice in this. It was okay. Like I said, a little bit rusty, but I definitely could see her grow into it, because our original Jodie Saint-Emilion, when she went by that name before Jodie Starling, because that was like her undercover name or something, she didn't sound great either. So, and she definitely, I love her voice now, so definitely something that could be grown into once you get to play the character some. But a character I really like, and I hope they keep going, Akai Shuichi. I loved it. And I definitely feel like once you get more time with it, I feel like it's going to get really good. So I'd really be looking forward to that. Another thing I'm looking forward to is... what else? I'm slipping my tongue. I'm just, like I said, I am talking on a ramble here. Jin. Okay, a lot of people were talking about how they like Jin's voice, and said that he stole the show. I don't think he stole the show. I definitely feel like he was the highest quality voice actor in the room. But I don't think he stole the show. He definitely does sound more like his Japanese counterpart, which is fine. That's what they're trying to do here anyway. But I believe they said that they didn't listen to the Japanese. That they got it with no Japanese in there. It was literally just the music track and the sound effects, which, fine, but I don't believe that means that they couldn't have gone home and listened, because a lot of these sound like their Japanese counterparts. Like, Shinichi sounds like his Japanese counterpart, and I don't really remember Ran off the top of my head. The fact that she was probably like in between both of the Funimation and the original. Kogoro, I could see how you could say that, but I mean, I don't know. It's a bit stretch. But Akai Shuichi sounds like that, but he pulled it off so well, where it's just like, I don't feel like you're doing a copycat situation. I just feel like that's what the character's just supposed to sound like. And so I really enjoyed that, per se. Like I said, this is a very, very good buy. It's still $19, so I recommend just getting it now on Right Stuff. Don't wait until it hits $30. Get it now. Because a sale is a sale. It doesn't matter how much it made. The sale is the sale. So if you want to support this, even though you've seen it somehow or whatever, I recommend buying it now before July 28th. Because July 28th is going to hit. And at that point, when July 28th hits, this is going to be full price. So I cannot stress this enough. Please buy this. It's time to open our wallets. We've been asking. Support it. Movie 22 is now out for sale on the Right Stuff as well for $19 until September. So get on that. They do not charge you till shipment. But now that they actually have in-stock orders for this, you could be charged a whole lot sooner. So I can't talk about the episode 1 special. I can't talk about that because I don't know. This was my first purchase off Right Stuff. So I can't go into too much detail about that, but Movie 22, you should not be charged until around September, so don't worry about that. If you want to pre-order that now for that price. I really enjoyed this. Any other characters I could think about that I really enjoyed? Wendy Lee. Wendy Lee, for me, is who stole the show. And I do have one more character I'd like to talk about. I've been pretty unbiased about the dub, the Funimation dub to this. Like I said, the only gripe I really held was Shinichi. and Jimmy. So I'm not saying I'm biased in any way, but I don't like Professor Agasa's voice. That is the only voice that I fully just straight up do not like. It kind of grew on me on this one after going back and looking at his voice actor more thoroughly. Just I know what he sounds like in Japanese, but just hear it again, right, fresh out of this, and I'm kind of warming up to it. He did a lot better job in this one. In movie 22, I hated him the whole time, and I was just like, I don't know how I'm gonna feel about him. He's a main character. But in this one, it wasn't that bad, but I still didn't like it. Definitely something that can maybe just get used to. I don't think it'll ever grow on me. It could, who knows? But Dr. Agasa in the Funimation dub was 1,000-fold better. I'm not knocking on whoever voiced Agasa in this, in any way, shape, or form. He doesn't sound Italian anymore. You can't tell me he's not Italian or Japanese Italian descendant because you got an Italian nose, dude. You can't tell me he's not. But I don't know. This is the only character I did not like, and now forgot. How did I forget? On the cover, and my waifu, and straight up one of our logo characters, Sherry, Shaiho Mayano. Oh my god. I heard her as Hybera. I didn't know it was going to be the same person voicing her, and the name didn't look like it was at first until I viewed her on Twitter. And yeah, she, because they don't show Hybera's credits in this, because she's not in here. So when I saw her name, I'm like, okay, well then who voiced Hybera? And the names matched. So Erica Mendez actually voices Sherry, and Ai Hybera. I can't tell you how much Ai Hybera has improved, because she's not in here compared to the first one. Ai Hybera, I kind of liked her. I was like, I can get used to this. Definitely way more arching towards the Japanese voice sounding in terms of range. I didn't mind her, and I definitely think she can grow. But Sherry, can we talk about Sherry? Not only does Sherry only appear 3 times in the series, including this special, she's not gonna have room to grow. But as Sherry, but I feel like once you hit Hybera enough, you'll know what an older Hybera should sound like. So you have that going for her. I know the same could go for Shinichi, but Shinichi doesn't stick around, okay? So, and doesn't voice the same character as Conan, so that's not going to work like it worked for Sherry. But I loved the way she sounded. When I heard her voice, I was in instant shock of like, okay, my character's not ruined. I loved it from the instant of hearing it. Like, it could have been a whole lot worse, and I'm not saying it was bad in any way, because they actually complimented her on Twitter. I don't even use Twitter, okay? So don't go looking for us, because we're not on Twitter. But I did have a Twitter for an American government class, and I deleted all my posts since, because who wants to see a post full of politics? I know I don't. So I deleted all those, and I was already, on Twitter searching, and you're automatically logged in, so I wrote to her, and I told her how I loved her performance as Ai Hybera and Sherry Mayano. And so that's pretty much it for my review in terms of characters and how I liked it. Definitely felt longer to me than watching the original subbed, because I guess you're just enjoying it so much the whole time. I enjoyed it the first time watching it subbed, because this is the first time they're telling the story from all angles. So I really enjoyed that. But watching it this time, it felt a whole lot longer. And maybe it's just because I was mentally enjoying myself the whole time. I really did. So that was that. What else could we talk about real quick? Just to wrap up any thoughts. We talked about all the characters I could think of. Wilder, which is Detective Takagi. I don't know if he spoke. He was in this. In the Mansion case, which I'm not sure if he was in the Funimation dub. It's been a while since I actually paid attention to stuff like that. But, they changed up some scenes and stuff, but I don't know if he spoke. I wasn't a fan of him in movie 22 that much. Like I said, he definitely has potential to grow. A lot of these characters do. They're not bad at all by any means. They're just not great in some instances, but they're really good. This is definitely a top-notch dubbing. And the cast is great. They've done great work. This is definitely going to be like an international dub. So if this will be like an international English dub, that's definitely what they're going for. So like if you're watching it in Arabic somewhere with English, this is what you're gonna get. Ironically, that's how movie 22 also leaked. It leaked on an Arabic server. So there's that. What else can we talk about real quick? I'm just kind of looking at the box trying to get some ideas, but there really isn't many here. Chanty and Corin had speaking roles. Corin was more of a grunting noise because he was blushing. Chanty, I can't really think about how well she sounded. She didn't sound bad. She was alright. Like I said, none of these characters by any means are bad. Maybe Agasa, but that's it. And I wouldn't even say he's bad, especially in this one. Like, this one I could live with it. He was the only character I didn't like. And I wouldn't say I hated him in this version. So, I'm okay with him calling him Pops. Because I do think Kogoro just wouldn't sound right. He could just call him Uncle. I might even be okay with Uncle Kogoro. Just don't Pops Kogoro. I hope that's gone. I hope that's gone. Please do not bring Pops Kogoro back. Do not do it. Hated it. Worst mistake. Don't do that. I'm okay with Pops if that's what you gotta do. But I'm okay with Uncle Kogoro or just Uncle. So there's that. What else could we talk about? I'm just trying to get a big picture. Sonoko, she wasn't as annoying as she was in the Japanese. She's better now. But earlier on, I used to skip episodes with her in it back in the day. Of course, it didn't take long until I went back and said, okay, I gotta watch all these because there was just a lot of content and I wanted to, know everything. So, and I didn't know at the time what was a TV original and what wasn't. Now I do. The show is like 48% TV originals, so which the cases are still interesting and fun to watch. So I don't know what route they're going to take with this, but I recommend, whether even it's just the movies, this show deserves to breathe in English once again. Because there are people who only watch dub. I do not. I used to be that way, where I felt like that's who I was, but I'm more of a sub person myself. The only animes I watched dubbed were Baccano, Case Closed, Darker Than Black, Death Note. And those are the only ones that are coming to my mind. I know I've seen Psycho Pass, Ghost Hunt, Another, Darura, but I didn't even finish season 1. Now that there's season 2, I probably should. But those are the only ones I really watched dubbed. I really haven't watched anything else dubbed. So this was definitely a mainstay. My top 2 favorite animes, if you want to know like what my taste is, it was definitely Clannad the After Story. I wasn't that huge of a fan of the first season of Clannad because it was more of a comedic thing. But they did make a lot of Smash Bros. References, so that was kind of funny. I always cracked up to that. But I still enjoyed it. But season 2 is a total difference. It's like, hey, you thought we were all funny? Well, let's rip your heart out. So my top 2 favorite animes are definitely Clannad the After Story, which I categorize totally differently from the first season. I feel like they're almost 2 different shows, but they have the same characters and a little bit of the same plot. But more in realism category. And then Case Closed. Those are my top 2 favorite animes of all time. So if I could recommend, but don't watch Clannad in English. They pronounce one of the main characters' names wrong, and it drives me bonkers. So that's one of my main gripes with that. But Junior Detective League. That reminded me because they're annoying. I call them the 3DC Misfits. Do not steal. The 3DC Misfits is what I call the kids. Love-hate relationship I have with them, really. I love them, but I hate them because they're annoying. So I just recently rewatched the English episode Fish Marks the Spot, and I was just like, man, I love these kids, but I hate them to death. So they sound a whole lot better in this one. In the first one, I couldn't stand it. They were in the same boat as Agasa. I couldn't stand them. And this one, Ayumi sounds really close to Amy and Ayumi. I really like it, so I'm okay with that. She sounds a whole lot better. George was and Genta are their names, and I could not stand his voice in the other one. Maybe even worse than Agasa. It was really bad. This one, he's gotten to sound a little bit more rougher like George, but also sounds like Genta. So I like the mix between that. And then Mitsuhiko, which is Mitch. And Mitch is just a... Okay, yeah, well, we won't go there. Mitch has definitely grown on me recently. I used to call him, Mitch with a B. I make jokes about it. Like, but we're not going to go into that. Oh, no, that's what I said. So, stuff like that. Like when he says, no, my name's Mitch. I'm like, I know. That's what I said. Not a fan of him, but he's definitely grown on me since. And this voice keeps in line to where I feel like I could still carry over that love that I had for Mitsuhiko in the later Japanese episodes. He was definitely the one I hated the most. Now it's probably Genta. I probably hate Genta the most. But Genta's just a lovable goof now, too. So I love them more than I hate them. And this new version is totally a lot better. So I recommend it. That's all I can say. There's literally no hates in this DVD. I zero regret this. Would buy again. And I have bought again. I bought more than one copy. So I can't recommend this enough. I really can't. I implore. This is the time. This is the time. You want the dub? Do it now. If you're going to buy any of these DVDs, if you feel like I just got to own one for my collection at some point, get this one. If you're going to have to do whatever you do because you don't have money, I can't say I implore or oppose or whatever on however you get your content. Okay, that is up to you. I can't control you, but the only way you're going to get more of this is buying it, so someone's got to do it, but it's hit top selling charts. Keep it climbing those charts. If you're only ever going to buy one DVD out of this entire thing, and then you're going to go digital, or if they even do digital releases or whatever, even if you're going to buy it all, even if you say, well, I'm just going to wait until they maybe do digital and then buy this one now and buy it again digital. Okay, if you want it for your digital collection, because I know I'm going to get everything digital later because I don't like DVDs, okay? I don't like DVDs. I like to be able to just pull it all out and play it. And then if I want to move on to something else, go do it. But this is the most important DVD from now until the end of the series. Maybe the series starts doing bad later for some odd reason, which it's been selling really good. And the mangas is always so good here in the States. They're always on top selling charts, so I don't maybe fear this is gonna hurt it at all. But as long as the series stays strong, then my case stands. This is the most important DVD to buy. This is the trial. This is them deciding what are we gonna do with it. Is it gonna be the movies, the episodes, both? Mainline episodes, just the arcs, stuff like that. That is all going to depend on what this DVD does. So buy it. That's all I could say. This is really just a bit of Apera and not much more I could say. I didn't, Vaca. I don't think he was bad. Honestly, if you just told me, I'm not saying he sounds like the original Vaca, but if you told me that this was the original voice actor and he just got, a bit older and his voice is just a bit more seasoned, I'd believe you. I'd believe you. So there's that. Vaca, who cares, but Vermouth. Ooh, Vermouth. I liked her. A lot of these are definitely go with like main anime type toning of voices as well. It totally sounds like your modern day anime compared to the other one, which sounded more like classic. I don't know how to describe it. Like if you put Ran compared to this Ran, you could just tell. Like just open up episode 10, listen to Ran of the Funimation dub, and then listen to this. You could tell like wow, they're close, but one just sounds like modern anime, and the other one might sound like classic anime to you, or just like a real westernized anime. I don't know, but you could totally tell from this. So that's pretty much it. Buy it. I've probably said that 100 times by now. I put a counter up, but I'm lazy, so I'm not going to do that. But yeah, this will serve as the podcast for this week. I did not plan on speaking this long. So there's that. I don't know what else to say. It was good. Check out our page on Facebook. We do also have a Discord server on Facebook. I post exclusive videos that YouTube loves to flag like 4 seconds of in certain spots. So it's like blocked in all territories, and it's just like, okay, I can't do anything. So they're on Facebook. I have well, now you can just hear the English voices on the internet. I'm sure somehow you could find to hear them. But I did originally took movie 22 and I scrubbed all the audio away, all sound effects, all music, and I was left with just the English voices. Took hours of editing, but I just had just their English voices left over. And then I took movie 5, Countdown to Heaven's main theme, and then I made my own movie intro with the voices. So that's on there. I also did a music video of Haru Yuta, and I just recently made a new video with Shinichi Kudo, like a AMV type thing. So there are some exclusive videos that go up on Facebook. So always, follow, like, and keep up to date on that. I post the links of how to buy this DVD and how to buy the 20-second movie that just got dubbed. Another character we could talk about, if we just go on to movie 22 with the series of moving forward, Bourbon. I like him. Bourbon's good. Another legendary voice that I feel did steal the show, but he only had a short span, so how could you really steal the show, is Kururada. Oh my god. By far, he's the best thing we've heard, maybe next to this episode 1 version of Wendy Lee. I would definitely say he was better than Wendy Lee in the first one, but in this, Wendy Lee, to me, stole the show. And of course, Shaiho really stole the show because I was just glad her voice was great. So there's that. I'm glad I thought of movie 22 again, bringing it up on how to buy it. So I implore you guys to just go send a like on Facebook, subscribe here, and that will be pretty much it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope you guys like Case Closed, and if you want to go watch the Funimation dub, give the Funimation dub a watch and see if you like the series or not. I totally recommend starting it in Funimation's dub, because a lot of people, you can knock it any way you want, but the added humor that was in there, that was some of the jokes just were really funny. And that was what pulled me in, not being a detective person or any cop shows or anything. Because in Japan, this is like their Law and Order. So I wasn't a fan, and I fell in love with the cast. And honestly, I don't know if I would have fallen in love with the cast the same way as I did. I fell in love with the cast, and I'm like, does he get his body back, soon? Because in the thumbnails I had, it was like Shinichi Kudo, Kono no Tagawa, Shinichi Kudo, and I was like, does he turn back? But those were just from the opening. I didn't know. I just saw that, so I just that is why I kept watching, to see if he got his body back, or if it was like a constant changing type thing. I wasn't sure. So that's pretty much it. I don't really have anything else to say. I really enjoyed the Funimation dub, so I highly recommend it. And if you don't want to rewatch the same stuff twice because you feel like that you won't support it if it comes out from the next dub people, and you're just like, well, so how do I watch these episodes? Maybe watch the original episode 1, or watch one of the movies. Maybe watch one of the movies, you can see how you feel about just the show's premise and what it goes for. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm rambling. I'm sorry. I did not have a script, and I did not think I was going to make it this far either. But I just thought, hey, it could also serve as the podcast for the week and stuff like that. So things have been extremely busy, so it's a double sword I'm putting out here for myself. That's pretty much it. I don't just remember, I guess, with a keen eye for details, one truth will always prevail. Or I'm back. I don't know if that felt really cool to end it on that. But as Wendy Lee says now, my body may have shrunk, but my IQ hasn't. Oh, man. Oh, man, Wendy Lee.
My body may have shrunk, but my IQ hasn't. Detective Conan leaves no case unsolved. There is always only one truth.
This is your one-stop shop. Subscribe and remember, with a keen eye for details, one truth will always prevail.